This video is about how to make friends when you're traveling. Mainly this video is for solo travelers, because when you travel with someone else, like a significant other, or with a group of people, the dynamic is totally different. There are tons of different ways to go about making friends. We're just going to talk about some ways. I'm also going to share some experiences and some funny jokes in the process. So when I started traveling, I had a buddy that was with us, and he liked to make jokes about how odd sometimes I was with making friends, and how this other guy was as well. And so first we got to start off with, maybe it's a guy hitting on a girl, right? So maybe it's me or this other guy. So let's start off with the example of the other guy. If he's just sitting around, he might lean over and talk to a girl, and the first thing is like, hey, do you like chess? Like that's what he says, right? Which is limiting the amount of conversation he could possibly have with her, because either it's a yes or no question if she likes chess, because he loves chess, right? But he's just essentially weeding out friends or girls really quickly. So I still remember there was one time I was in a cafe and I could see this girl had stickers on her computer and all this stuff, and I love anime, and I thought she liked anime too because she had all these stickers and some of them were anime. And so I asked her, hey, do you like anime? And she's like, no, why do you ask? And then I mentioned all the stickers on her computer, and that got us talking. But I told one of my buddies that I said that, and he's like, dude, you and the other guy are so weird. You either ask do you like chess or do you like anime? And that's how you guys meet girls? That's weird. Anyway, it's a funny example, but anything can work, right? Even if it's a silly starter, anything works, right? If you don't even say anything, then nothing happens. Let's get away from the side of trying to date a girl or a guy if you have interest in them. So there are different ways to actually make friends. And when someone's traveling solo and they're in foreign countries, how do you do that? One of the ways, I'd say the most prevalent way people do it, is they get on a dating app. They get on Bumble or Tinder or something. And I did the same exact thing. And you are getting on to match with someone and then go meet up with them. The problem is you probably have some level of attraction because you're seeing their photo, and you can become friends with them, because I have friends that I met through the app, except one thing can lead to another, and maybe you're up for that, or maybe you're actually just looking for friends, because I've used it to meet friends, and you end up going on dates or going to a bunch of stuff, but sometimes you end up getting closer to a relationship and it's not really what you want. So I would say if that's the route you go, be very direct about what you're looking for. People really appreciate it. They really, really appreciate it. No matter what it is that you're looking for, just be direct about it. And if someone doesn't like it, cool. At least you were direct and you were honest. So that's one approach. That's the most common used one, because it's a form of online. It makes the social pressure a lot easier on you. What I would say is the way to do it in real life, being social, it is a little bit more pressure. But if you do that, it's really cool, and you're not going off of the interest of maybe dating a girl or that possible interest. So let's talk about actually making friends, right? It can be any sex. You're not interested in them in any kind of sense. You just want to actually make more friends. I'll give you an example of today. I have decided where I want to stay, and I'm decided I want to make more friends. So I'm being active in my choice of friends. So today I met 3 people, and I'm going to share those examples to give you some ways that you can do it. This is just obviously in one day. This morning, I am at a Vietnamese coffee shop. Obviously, I'm in Vietnam, but I'm the only white person there. I like being the only white person at places. Some foreigners love to be around other foreigners. Seriously, whatever community it is, people end up traveling and then sticking with the people that look alike. I like the opposite of that. There are a lot of people that like that as well. But so I went to a cafe that I really wanted to go to, and I'm sitting there, and I end up moving seats because I wanted to try a different area. There was one guy that looked like he was working on some creative stuff, so I was gonna wait till he didn't look like he was really focused. I don't want to disturb someone when they're really focused. And then I asked him, a simple question hey, are you doing creative work? He didn't speak English, then we used the translator app, but then we started, having an entire conversation. And the reason I started that conversation is I'm looking for a video editor, and I felt that I could at least ask him, right? He might know, he might not know, but it could spike up a conversation. Plus, I'm always down to have more friends. So he didn't know a video editor, but we connected, and then he wrote on his phone like, I know today is an amazing day because I got to meet you. This made my day. Obviously, like I love hearing that kind of stuff, but sometimes you meet someone who doesn't speak any English at all, and they'll say something like that. And I don't want to say I hear that all the time, but I do hear it every once in a while, and like it makes my day to hear it made someone's day just to have a conversation. Right? Everyone's in their own world. They're playing on the computer, doing whatever. They're just really in their own world. So having a conversation outside of that lights someone's brain up. It makes them excited. So we had a full conversation, and then we both went back to work. And we're sitting near each other, and then we connected. We shared information, and then we parted ways. He also shared some book recommendations and some music for meditation. So it was cool. It was a good interaction. Let's fast forward to gym time. So I'm in the gym. It's this very local style gym. So a lot of Vietnamese people. I'm the only white person in there. Some white guy walks in, and when I say white, like I still laugh about it because you could just say foreigner, but everyone says white, and I'm fine with it, as well. So some white guy walks in and comes right up to me and then starts talking to me, which makes sense, right? Like you want to speak English or someone, you want to find the thing you're familiar with right away. And so he started speaking to me. I feel like when you're in a workout, some people go and they're really like mad and trying to get out stuff, but working out is calming for me. So I'm pretty much at peace when I'm there. And so he's talking to me and we're just connecting, and he's talking about the expat community and gyms. And he was actually driving around because he met a girl and he was looking for a restaurant, like a nice place to go to for the dates that night. And he wanted to ask me about that. And he's like, I saw this gym, so I just came in. And then he's like, well, let's exchange information, let's hang out. So that was the one where he actually reached out to me, and that just happened from just being white, right? Like if you're in a other country, like expats are gonna wanna talk to you. In fact, the majority of time, if you're near an expat, they will talk to you, which I'm essentially okay with. Like sometimes I really wanna be doing my own thing. That's why I like recognize if someone else is busy, I don't interrupt them. Like I let them stay focused. On that note, one of my friends, who's currently a friend and a client, he spoke to me at first, and I had my earbuds in, I'm drinking coffee, I'm reading, I'm working on something, and I'm reading something, and I literally have my earbuds in, which is like, I'm busy, don't talk to me, right? And so I'm in this zone, and I could see like out of the corner of my eye, I could see, I took my earbud out, I'm like, hello? He's like, hey, is the coffee here good? And I was like, because I don't think I took a sip yet. I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. And then he's like, all right, well, yeah, if you don't mind, I'll grab a coffee and I'll come sit next to you. And so he grabbed a coffee, sat next to me, and that's how our friendship began. And now we've been friends for over a year, and I've traveled to go see him in like London, and in Thailand. So you can make friends very, very easily. And even if they seem like they're busy, you can just open up a conversation. People are happy to have conversations. And then in the same gym today, so let's go back to those examples. It was one guy this morning at a coffee shop, one guy at the gym, and another guy at the gym. And so he looks like he could be a competitor. Like he's very fit. You can see like muscle striations and like his obliques, so on the side. And I was like, okay, maybe he's a competitor. He's always like without his shirt on, like flexing in the mirror and like looking at like each muscle and stuff like that. So that's what a lot of competitors do. So I wanted to ask him. In fact, if he's always flexing, I'm gonna look at him every once in a while. So it's like weird if you look at someone and then every day you're just looking at them and you never talk to each other, right? Like that's a little weird. I just wanted to say hey and like ask him if he's a competitor. So I went up to him and asked him if he spoke English. And I say that in Vietnamese. My Vietnamese isn't like great or anything, but em nói tiếng Anh phải không? He's like, huh? And I'm like, em nói tiếng Anh phải không? And he's like, oh, little. When I hear that, it's like, okay, well, I can't say the next statement. So I pulled out my phone and wrote like, do you compete? And he's like looking at it confused. One of the things about Google Translate, it doesn't do so good with English to Vietnamese. You often have to like change it. And then I typed in competition, and he's like, oh, no. And then I was like, you just work out for fun? He's like, yeah. And I was like, anh cũng vậy, like me too. Like I work out too for fun. Simple interaction, then you go your own ways. One thing I would say that, does bother me about a lot of expats is that they want to start a conversation Oh man, this sounds bad. Because like, you know, a lot of people are on just pure vacation and they're on like, F it, party mode. Like sometimes an expat will just like start a conversation and just keep talking about whatever they want to talk about. And you feel almost locked in that conversation. The reason I'm saying this is like, don't do that. When you have a conversation with somebody, the best way to do it is ask them questions. Don't talk about whatever you want to talk about. Don't keep rambling off. Ask them questions. Nobody cares until they know how much you care. So if you just start talking about all your stories and stuff, nobody cares. Nobody wants to listen to your stories. But if you really start caring about people, like you ask them about their stories, you ask them about their life, they'll be like, wow, like this guy's really interesting. Seriously, like you don't even have to say anything. You just, I mean, you don't have to talk about yourself. You just ask questions. They'll be like, this guy's interesting. Or gal, this gal is interesting. I truly feel the measure of someone's intelligence is the quality of questions that they are able to ask. It just shows that they're actually actively listening and thinking and responding appropriately. So ask good questions when you're trying to meet someone. It could be a silly question at first, right? Like, do you like anime? Like maybe no, but like maybe to spike up a conversation. So you can ask anything, but as you're listening to them and they say a statement, you can ask another question based on it. So, you know, mine was like, to this guy in the gym, do you do competitions? He said, no. I was like, well, essentially, why do you work out? Or because we're translating, I'm trying to be very direct, like, do you work out just for fun? I could have asked, why do you work out? And it could have been a whole conversation. But like, we're in our workout. I don't want to bother him, right? If you're in a coffee shop and it looks like someone's focused, you don't want to bother them. You want to say hi real quick, and then you kind of want to part ways. You want to seem like you're like leaving the conversation because maybe they don't want to be in a conversation. Maybe they're busy. So just appear that you're ready to leave the conversation and actually be ready to leave the conversation. Don't force yourself in and keep talking to them. Like again, like I'm going back to the expats, but some people do that to me. They like force their way in. Like I'm busy, and then they start talking to me. And there's some days where I don't want to talk. I am busy, and they keep forcing their way in. And then I realize like that's just like who that person is. So like they don't really care about your time. You're just going to be on their time. So just be mindful of other people's time. I'm rambling a little bit too much, but let me go back to the example of the guy in the gym. So I had that quick conversation with him, and then I went back to go and do my workout. You go to different parts of the gym, and you come back kind of close to each other, like a head nod, and then later on, I'm leaving the gym, and he ends up leaving at the same time. And then he's looking at me like he looks like he's really excited, right? When I went up to talk to him when he was in the gym, he like was doing head nods and like wasn't saying anything, like used the phone, like, you know. So I don't. It's hard to know if you're reading body language. It's hard to know if someone like wants to continue talking or not, which is why then I left, right? Like at least I acknowledge you while we're in the gym. But when we were leaving, like it seemed like he was, you know, excited and like said bye, and then I drove my bike up to him, gave him a fist bump, and I was like, hang up lai, like see you again. And he's like, hang up lai, and then I drove off, right? Like I'm not trying to seem cool or anything. That's just like what I wanted to do, and he seemed cool with it too. We're gonna be seeing each other every day at the gym, so now we acknowledge each other. And now we'll be able to like see each other at the gym. I'm already thinking like, you know, maybe I'll ask him at some point if he wants to like work out a certain muscle group one day, and it's up to him whether he wants to say yes or no. The reason why I'm jumping into depth on each one of these examples is because you're trying to make friends, right? I'm giving you examples of 3 friends I made today. As I was traveling and, for example, using dating apps to make friends, then, you know, you can connect to some degree, or maybe you have like a sexual interest in that person to some degree, but you're limiting yourself from meeting other people that you can connect with that have the same interests as you, right? Like you can find on an app someone who has maybe the same interest and try to connect over it. But if you're meeting someone in real life around that thing, you probably have an interest together, and it's strong enough that you're actually doing it in real life, right? You can see somebody doing it. And so that's why I wanted to share 3 examples. You know, you can easily make friends when you're traveling alone in other countries. Super quick update on these 3 relationships. It is now a week later, so I can give you an update on, did these friendships blossom? Did they bloom? Did they grow into something? Or did they dissipate into the deep, darkest depths of earth? One of them, the white guy who walked into the gym, asked for my number, never texted me again, okay? So that one dissipated. Did they all dissipate? So the other one, the guy I met in the coffee shop, he actually like found the YouTube channel and made a comment on it. I think that's really cool. And he's like, oh, I'm following your journey and you're helping others. And I know that he's helping others too. So I feel good about that. And I feel that there will be a connection there as well. I also want to reach out to him and invite him to a coffee shop again so that we can hang out and work. So I'm hoping to do that. I haven't done that yet. This week has just mainly been work stuff. And then the other guy at the gym has blossomed into a bromance where we talk every day at the gym. Like I didn't go there for like maybe 3 days in a row over a weekend and stuff. And then when I saw him again, he like came up to me and like patted me on the back and we talked. And he also has like a really good lower chest. Like, you know, and you're talking about muscle building. It's a good lower chest. So I commented on it and asked him a question about it because I saw one exercise he was doing. And then he showed me exercises to do. And then I spent an entire workout doing those exercises. And still, it's the third day afterwards, my lower chest is still hurting. And I'm glad I wouldn't have been able to follow some of those exercises and learn that if I hadn't have talked to him. And so now I'm gonna see him every day at the gym. And I know we both know each other's times that we go to the gym, which is like, I'm literally about to leave and I was like, oh wait, should I film this video or should I just hurry up and go to the gym? And so I'm gonna hop off this video, I'm gonna go to the gym and then I'll see him and do my workout. That's a little example of how you make friends in foreign countries. If you're gonna do anything often, like go to the same coffee shop or go to the same gym, go ahead and start a conversation with somebody. It's not that difficult, just walk up, ask a question relevant to whatever it is, right? Like a guy in the gym, hey, do you compete, right? Like, that's an easy question. Someone in a coffee shop, I know it's a little weird, right? You're looking at their computer, but if someone's doing creative work and you ask if they do creative work, especially if like, you know, you're in a foreign country and you don't speak the same language as the other person and you try to start a conversation about it, like, there's so much to learn from both parties can learn a lot, right? Like, if you're in America and you're in a coffee shop and someone's working on creative work and it's such a capitalistic culture, like they might be so focused on trying to earn money that like, don't talk to me, like, you know, but if you're in a foreign country and it's someone of a different nationality, they might be so interested in talking to you as well. And if you ask them about the creative work, you can like talk about whatever it is, right? If you're interested in creative work, which is why I asked, because I am, and I'm looking for a video editor. When I asked about that, he was really excited, which got us to talk about all kinds of things around creativity. So just know that people are excited and eager to have conversations. So when you're traveling and you're in foreign countries, feel open to having a conversation with someone. It could be something as simple as, hey, how are you doing? Or it could be based off of what they're doing, which really helps build a conversation right away. But yeah, if you're going to places often, like a gym or a coffee shop, then it's nice to be kind to everyone there because you're gonna see them a lot, and then you'll slowly start to become friends with people. Before I ramble your ear off, and because my AC's off and I'm starting to sweat, I'm just gonna stop this video here. I hope this was some helpful insight into how to make friends in foreign countries, just using some examples from one day. What's DJ Khaled's favorite number? 11, because it's got another one. See you.